There was something unsettling about that hallway. It wasn't just the dim lighting or the way the walls seemed to close in on you as you walked through. It was the quiet, oppressive stillness, the kind that made the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Every time I passed through it, I felt as though I wasn't alone, like eyes were watching from the shadows, just out of sight. It all started when I moved into the old apartment building. It was cheap and close to work, so I didn't think twice about the creaky floors or the occasional draft that sent a shiver through my spine. The building had been around for decades, perhaps longer, but I liked its vintage charm. What I didn't like was the hallway. The hallway stretched from the front of the building all the way to my apartment at the end. At night, the overhead lights flickered, casting strange shadows that seemed to shift as I walked. Every time I set foot in that hallway, my stomach tightened with a sense of dread I couldn't shake. The first strange occurrence happened late one night. I had just returned from a long shift, exhausted and ready to collapse into bed. As I unlocked the door to my apartment, I heard a faint whisper, like someone was calling my name from the other end of the hall. I froze, my hand still on the doorknob, heart pounding in my chest. "Hello?" I called, hoping it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. The silence that followed was deafening. No response. I quickly stepped inside, locking the door behind me, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling. The next few nights, it only got worse. I'd hear footsteps echoing down the hallway when no one was there. Doors creaking open and closing again on their own. The whispering continued, growing louder each night, though I could never make out the words. And then, there were the shadows. I first saw it out of the corner of my eye, just a fleeting, dark figure at the end of the hall. I blinked, thinking it was a trick of the light, but when I looked again, it was still there. A tall, slender silhouette standing perfectly still, just watching. I couldn't make out any features, but I felt its eyes on me. I turned and rushed into my apartment, slamming the door shut behind me, my heart racing. That night, I barely slept. Every creak, every rustle made me jump, expecting to see the figure standing at the foot of my bed. But it didn't stop there. Soon, I started seeing the figure more often, always at the end of the hall, always watching. It never moved, never spoke, but its presence grew more oppressive with each passing day. I tried to ignore it, convincing myself that it was just my mind playing tricks on me. But then one evening, as I was leaving for work, I found a note slipped under my door. It was written in messy, scrawled handwriting, "Don't look at it." I felt a chill run down my spine as I read the words. Who left this? How did they know? My hand shook as I crumpled the note and threw it away, but the warning lingered in my mind. That night, as I walked down the hallway, the lights flickered again. This time, the figure wasn't just standing at the end. It was closer, much closer. I could feel its presence, a cold, suffocating weight pressing down on me as I hurried to my apartment. My hand fumbled with the keys, my heart racing as I struggled to unlock the door. I made a mistake. I looked back. The figure was right behind me, its face a hollow, black void. There were no eyes, no features, just darkness where a face should have been. And yet, I knew it was staring directly into my soul. My breath caught in my throat as I stumbled into my apartment, slamming the door shut, heart thudding so loud I thought it would burst. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I could hear the footsteps outside my door, slow, deliberate, as if it was waiting. The whispering was louder now, insistent, but still I couldn't understand the words. Days passed and the figure became bolder. It would stand outside my door for hours, casting a shadow beneath the crack of the door. Sometimes, I'd hear a faint knock, just a single, deliberate tap, as if it was letting me know it was there. I knew I couldn't stay. The hallway had become a trap, each step through it filled with terror. But I didn't know how to escape it. Every night, I could feel its presence closing in, the whispering growing louder, the darkness deeper. Then one night, the knocking stopped. The footsteps ceased. The hallway, for the first time in weeks, was silent. But I knew it wasn't over. Whatever had been stalking me had simply found another way in. It wasn't in the hallway anymore. It was inside my apartment,